Bugs Bunny and the Healthy Hog. Looks like they're going to be busy. After 7 straight days of rain, Bugs Bunny was getting bored, just sitting around his burrow. I need to think of some exercises, Bugs thought to himself, so he grabbed his galoshes, an umbrella, and headed for town to join a health club. We're having a special sale this week, the man at the Hilldale Health Club told Bugs. Ask a friend to sign up with you and get an extra 3-month membership free. That sounds like a great deal to Bugs. He quickly set off to find his buddy, Porky Pig. It really is raining. Look at it. Looks like a busy place. What's up, Doc? Bugs asked when he reached Porky's house. You look a little down. I'm bored, said Porky. It's this awful rain. I know just what you mean and what you need, Bugs said, and he told Porky all about the health club. Porky hesitated, but Bugs insisted. You know, pal, Bugs said, you've been looking even porkier than usual lately. You should lose a few pounds. Finally, Porky agreed to give it a try. The next day, the two friends signed up at the health club. They started off with an aerobic class, exercising to the beat of a jazzy dance tune. But while everyone else struggled to keep up with the instructor. Wow, look, she's really moving. Porky found his mind wandering. After aerobics, they jumped into the pool, but while Bugs churned through the water like a speeding torpedo, look, they're swimming. Porky found his mind wandering again. Ooh, that wasn't good. On the way home after their workout, thought Porky, he had to admit that he felt surprisingly refreshed. This is just the beginning, Bugs assured him. Believe me, the more you work out, the better you'll feel. Look, he's thinking of all kinds of desserts and fruit and looks like an ice cream sundae. Bugs will get him back on the right path. Bugs soon began to regret those words. Day by day, Porky became more and more involved in exercising. He began arriving at the club earlier than Bugs and leaving later. He didn't even take a break from lunch. Porky was too busy exercising to think about anything else. Bugs felt sad and lonely. He missed his friends. Look at him speeding on that bike and running. Wow, he is right into it. One night, Bugs heard a knock at his door. He looked up and saw 2 little pink feet. It's Porky, he thought hopefully. But when he opened the door, he saw Porky's girlfriend, Petunia Pig, standing there. She looked upset. I need to talk to you, Petunia said to Bugs. Go ahead, Bugs urged her. I'm all ears. What have you done to Porky? She cried. He told me you think he's too fat. Now he never wants to go out to dinner because he's on a diet, and he usually is too tired to go out at night. I hardly even see him anymore. I miss him. I know, Bugs said guiltily. I do too. But don't worry, I'll fix this mess. There she is, standing at the door crying. You better work hard. The next day, Bugs saw Porky in the locker room. I was wrong about you, Bugs said. You should be plump. Like the old saying goes, quick as a bunny, wise as an owl, and let's face it, fat as a pig. You haven't been yourself since you joined this club, Bugs went on. Soon I won't even be able to recognize you. Besides, I really miss you. Porky shook his head doubtfully. You're right, Bugs, he said. I haven't been much of a friend. But you were right before, too. I am too fat. I promise to cut down on my workouts just as soon as I lose a few more pounds, okay? Oh, Porky, Bugs cried. How can I convince you that you're fine just the way you are? Look at him, he's on the scale. Then Bugs came up with a plan. The next morning, he showed up at the club even earlier than Porky. He sneaked into the gym with a can of silver paint and changed the number on one of the weights from 10 to 20. When Porky arrived later and began pumping iron, he could hardly believe his progress. Look, Bugs, Porky cried. Last week I couldn't get the 10-pound weight off the ground, and now I'm lifting twice that. Great, Bugs said. Now you won't need to work out so much anymore. Porky patted his tummy. Nope, he said. I may be getting stronger, but I'm still as fat as ever. See, he's changing the number. Ooh, Bugs has really created such a problem. Bugs was discouraged, but he wouldn't give up. He decided to swipe a pair of Porky's sweatpants from his gym bag. He took them over to Petunia and asked her to let out the waistband. I hope this works, Bug told Petunia. When Porky put on the sweatpants the next day, he noticed nothing wrong until he started lifting his weights. Wow, Bugs exclaimed. You really have lost a lot of weight. Now you can stop dieting and exercising, and we can have some real fun. Oh no, Porky said. I'm still a little too fat. Look, he lost his pants right down by his ankles. Crazy. That week the carnival came to town, and Bugs asked Porky to leave the club early and go over to the fairgrounds. But Porky didn't want to miss his afternoon calisthenic classes. So Bugs went to the carnival alone. While passing by the magic mirror in the funhouse, he had a real brainstorm. Bright and early the next morning, Bugs hung a magic mirror on Porky's locker door. Then he slipped out into the hall to see what would happen next. When Porky opened his locker and took a look in the mirror, he squealed at what he saw. Oh, look, he looks tall and thin in that picture. Bugs strolled over to Porky. What's up, Doc? He said casually. You were right, Porky cried. Look at what I've done to myself with all that silly dieting and exercising. It has done to me with all that silly dieting and exercising. Why, I look 100 times worse than I did at my very fattest. I never should have joined this awful club. That's not true, Bugs said. There's nothing silly about exercising or dieting in moderation, but you overdid it. You turned into a health hog, and there's nothing healthy about that. Gee, I'd give anything to be my old fat self, Porky said glumly. Porky looked so sad that Bugs knew he'd learned his lesson. He told Porky about the trick he'd played. So you see, Bugs concluded, You still are your old self. That was quite a trick he played. Oh boy, Porky said, let's celebrate. He called Petunia and asked her to join them at the snack bar. Bugs ordered carrot cake and carrot juice for everyone. Here's to physical fitness in moderation, Porky said, lifting his glass. And here's to friendship, Bugs added. He gave his pal a big grin, and Petunia gave him a big hug. And that's the end.